Coming up on Winthrop Close Up, you may need to keep a closer eye on your laptop or cell phone. Stay tuned to find out why.
And how getting involved on campus is setting students up for the future. Up next on Winthrop Close Up.
This week on Winthrop Close Up, we'll be talking to Rock Hill PD about why they decided to ban book bags from local Rock Hill football games.
Debit, cash, or credit. Find out the best ways to avoid identity theft for college students coming up on Winthrop Close Up.
Welcome to Winthrop Close Up. I'm Brandon Grate.
And I'm Leslie Brown. We begin today with startling information about yet another risk to your credit card information.
Jimmy John's is the latest company to come under threat. Reporter Jerion Manning takes a closer look at the security breach and what it could mean for your wallet.
A simple swipe and your transaction is done. But lately it seems that you need to think again, as Jimmy John's has released that their credit card system has been breached.
That definitely makes me a little nervous. My roommate and also one of my hallmates just had their credit card information stolen. One had $500 charged and the other one had $50.
And this breach makes for the second one in only a few months, as Home Depot had also announced that they'd been hacked earlier this summer.
Well, from what I understand, some of the stores in North Carolina have had a security compromise with regards to their credit card machines, or the credit card holders. I don't know a whole lot about it. It's not something that's affected our store, so I guess we're lucky in that sense.
Approximately 216 stores appear to have been affected by this event. Cards impacted by the event appear to be those swiped at the stores and did not include those cards entered manually or online. The credit and debit card information at issue may include the card number and in some cases the cardholder's name, verification code, and or the card's expiration date, said Jimmy John's. Customers feel that these companies should definitely step their security up.
I would say just a better cybersecurity, making sure that your systems are airtight so that no hacker can be able to infiltrate your system.
This situation will definitely have people thinking twice before swiping their cards in the near future. Jerion Manning, Winthrop Close Up.
How do you feel about this and other recent hackings? Tweet us your thoughts at Winthrop Close Up.
From credit card information to your full identity, millions of Americans fall victim to identity theft each year, many between the ages of 18 and 29. Reporter Tabitha Corley finds out what makes that age range such an easy target.
The Federal Trade Commission says that 1 out of every 5 victims of identity theft is under the age of 30.
I was shocked. I was only 20 years old, and the thought of someone having my social security number and actually using it was mind-baffling.
Hackers tend to prey on that demographic because they know they can get away with more, and they know that these young folks aren't as diligent in monitoring their finances.
Professor Chlotia at Garrison said it is easy to steal a college student's identity with simply a password.
I have had some students who have told me their roommate or their boyfriend. If you use information about yourself in your password, then those who know you, those who are around you, can easily get that.
Phishing is another way hackers can get sensitive information, which is why it is important to limit the amount given out.
An email from your bank saying something is wrong with your account, you need to verify, send us your account number and your password so we can verify that you're you. Don't send it.
In order to prevent identity theft, it's better to use cash instead of your card whenever you can.
You actually have more layers of protection if you use your card as a credit card rather than a debit card. So if you use your card as a credit card, the bank that's standing behind that credit card, if something fraudulent happens, they legally have to do something about that. If you use your card as a debit card, if something fraudulent happens, most banks will work with you just out of a good-natured customer service type of deal, but they do not have to.
So don't be a part of the statistic. Monitor your credit as frequently as possible and limit the amount of information given out. Tabitha Corley, Winthrop Close Up.
Winthrop University's College of Business will offer a new class next year that teaches students how to manage their personal finances. Visit the department in Thurman for more information.
A college student's identity isn't the only thing that can be easily snatched. Property theft can happen to anyone. So how can you protect yourself? I set out to uncover ways to keep your valuables safe. Theft happens everywhere, and Winthrop is no exception.
As far as the last reported year, there were 48 reported cases of thefts on campus. And that encompasses resident halls, academic buildings, coliseum, the roads, parking lots.
Winthrop's campus is small compared to most schools, so some may feel comfortable with leaving their things unattended, but that's a false sense of security.
If you're in a resident hall room, don't just assume that you can just leave your room unsecure with your valuables in it to run down to the bathroom. If you're in a student lounge studying, don't assume that you can just get up and go talk to a professor.
Laptops and cell phones are the most common things stolen on campus, but some students find that other things are stolen too. Joe Peterson, a student at Winthrop, had his clothes stolen out of the laundry room in his dorm his freshman year.
I thought maybe I had just misplaced them or something, so I looked around in the laundry room, see if maybe I put them in another dryer, and then after a while I noticed that they just weren't in the laundry room at all, so they had been taken. And it was just a lesson for me that I had to keep an eye on my items, or I just had to keep an eye on my things at all times, even if I felt like I was in a secure environment.
A few weeks ago when my friend came to Diggs, he left his Beats headphones behind. After he realized he left them, he went back and saw that they were gone. That time he realized they were stolen.
Sergeant Wiles says he has one piece of advice for students.
My biggest tip would be to treat all your possessions like it's your most prized valuable, and to understand that it only takes a split second for somebody to steal something.
As soon as you notice something has been stolen, contact campus police immediately to file a report. If you are thinking ahead about electronic protection, consider registering your laptop with campus police. Instructions are listed on their website.
Rock Hill Police Department is beefing up security at high school football games. Up next, find out what you may need to leave at home.
And Winthrop students take to stage to perform for their peers. We'll take a look at them after a few messages.
Thanks for staying with us. Ever wonder how some students juggle classes, working, and being involved on campus? I went to find out how some students can really do it all.
My day is pretty busy from about 9:30 in the morning till about 9 at night.
Saani Perry, a middle-level education major at Winthrop University, currently holds 5 positions on Winthrop's campus, on top of taking 16 credit hours this semester.
I'm the treasurer of True Gold, which is a student organization, and then I'm also the student leadership coordinator here on campus. I'm also a peer mentor, and I serve as the public relations co-chair and Paint the Town co-chair of the homecoming committee.
But what keeps Perry motivated is his thirst for success.
I'm motivated to keep my grades up. Being in these positions, a lot of them have GPA requirements, and so I love what I do on campus, and so in order for me to stay in these positions, I have to make sure that I keep a good GPA.
But success is not the only thing motivating students here on Winthrop's campus.
Working hard for my mom because she worked hard and does various things for me. So I think just paying it forward and paying it back to her is what motivates me, just to make sure like I succeed, not just for my mom, but for me personally.
Rosie Murray is also very active on campus, balancing several positions in campus organizations, taking on 19 credit hours, and working 2 jobs.
And, and if you work hard and you make relationships with people on campus, you never know what opportunities may come up for you.
Campus involvement also helps with communication, a skill students will need to use after their college years are over. Miranda Knight, Assistant Dean of Students at Winthrop, agrees that being involved gets students connected to their campus and to other people.
I think being involved, making friends, being involved on campus helps you connect. It helps you feel like Winthrop's home, your other home, your home away from home. And nothing feels better than to be on a campus that has 6,000 people. 6,000, that's a lot. And somebody else your name across campus because they know you.
With the wide variety of clubs and organizations on campus, your opportunity to get involved and stay involved is right around the corner.
Around the corner from Winthrop University, local high school football game fans are having to leave a certain accessory at home before entering the stadium. Reporter Gabrielle Franklin has more.
Rock Hill District 3 Stadium and District 3 Stadium South are Rock Hill's resident spots for Friday night fun. But sometimes, in the midst of all the fun, rules and regulations are brought about to keep everyone safe. The Rock Hill Police Department put a new ban into effect this month. Rock Hill PD has banned the use of book bags at District 3 Stadium, disabling fans from bringing in food, inside the stadium. District 3 high school students have mixed reviews about the new band.
I know there's a lot of fights going out, and that's kind of what they're afraid of, like with the gate and not letting students go class sides, and they just seem a little overprotective.
It's good that they banned the book bags because, like I said, the weapons that people can carry into the stadium, that's not safe for anybody.
But not every item is banned.
At our recommendation, women can still take their purses in, and folks with little babies can bring in diaper bags and things. So we haven't banned bringing everything in, but it's just students with book bags.
Rock Hill PD says they believe that the ban will effectively reduce alcohol possession and increase the overall safety at the games. Gabrielle Franklin, Winthrop Close Up.
So far, there have not been any incidents at any Rock Hill District 3 games this season.
Coming up on Winthrop Close Up, a group of Winthrop University men took to the stage in hopes of becoming the next big man on campus. See how they did? Up next.
Plus, the terrorist organization ISIS targets American teenagers, how it's using social media to recruit new members.
Welcome back to Winthrop Close Up. I'm Melissa Nobles in the CNN News Center. For the first time, the CDC has confirmed that a Texas hospital is treating the first case of Ebola ever diagnosed in the United States. Research and testing has shown that Ebola is treatable. We'll continue to bring you updates about the situation on our Facebook page. Things are still heating up in Ferguson, Missouri. Most recently, a police officer was shot in the arm while on patrol. This incident drew crowds and raised nerves in a city already on edge from weeks of unrest. Authorities say they do not think it was in any way linked to the protest. The officer survived, and the wound is said to be non-life-threatening. Hong Kong is in the midst of its longest series of political protests since the 1997 handover, as young protesters take to the streets to fight a government that they say is ignoring their demands.
The main target is to have democracy, a true democracy. And for more detail, this is a very important time for Hong Kongers to have a really true democracy system.
The protest was sparked by China's insistence that it vet candidates for a 2017 election in Hong Kong, even though residents in Hong Kong had been promised that they would be able to freely elect their leaders. Pro-democracy activists say their goal is to pressure China into giving the former British colony full universal suffrage. ISIS is trolling teen social networks to find Western recruits. The recruiters make themselves seem approachable to the curious and accessible to the masses. One profile tagline read, "I'm just like you." On Ask.fm, users asked questions about married life and how the members get paid. Some readers were encouraged to log on to more secure sites for continuing private conversation. Social media like Instagram and Ask.fm have been a heavy part of the tactics. Terrorist analysts say, although recruitment will now be on a decline, this has been going on for quite a while. More on ISIS. The organization's new recruitment efforts continue to have many Americans and global citizens concerned. Reporter Rachel Richardson talks with the experts to find out if America has reason to fear.
Combination of a religious group, a terrorist group, and a group seeking a nation state.
The fight against ISIS rages, and many warn that it will be a tough battle.
But we're going to take a closer look at what ISIS actually is.
Well, this is one of the most complex international issues that has come about in quite a while.
ISIL is a group that formed in the Middle East whose goal is to take over portions of countries and make their own country that would follow strict interpretations of Muslim teachings.
It is a group of extremists that have taken advantage of the war in Syria to produce a new Sunni-dominated extremist state which would take at least a good chunk of Iraq and perhaps Syria.
I think Americans are becoming more and more aware of these groups as they threaten the United States, become stronger, and threaten some of our own interests in the Middle East and also in our own country.
Why we should pay attention to it is that they could possibly be a threat to the United States. The problem is that I believe that if we overreact and make the United States too prominent in the struggle against this group, they will then turn against us even more than they are now.
We've also discovered that there are Americans joining the groups, and they have certain places in the U.S. where they're heavily recruiting American citizens to join the groups in the Middle East, like ISIS.
Rachel Richardson, Winthrop Close Up.
Are you concerned about ISIS? If so, we want to hear from you. Tweet us your thoughts at Winthrop Close Up. This wraps up today's CNN News Report. Let's take it back to Leslie and Brandon in the studio.
Thanks, Melessa. Up next on Winthrop Close Up, from hit TV show The Voice to the edge at Winthrop University. Find out how Winthrop students compare to a true performing professional.
Find out who's really the big man on campus.
Welcome to Arts and Entertainment. I'm Tabitha Corley. When you think of university pageants, you typically think of big hair and beauty queens, but this competition was all about the men. Reporter Damon Mack introduces us to this year's big man on campus.
They're not the most talented or the most charming, but neither matters to become the big man on campus. Male representatives from across campus competed for the title in talent rounds, casual, formal,
and finally the auction, where the male contestants strut their stuff in hopes of winning a bid.
The charity is the Painted Turtle Camp, and it's a camp for chronically ill children.
130, and some Adidas, okay. And some students were more involved than others.
My favorite part of the show is probably bidding on Coach Kelsey.
Who's really the big man on campus?
Drum roll, please. Derrick Henry.
Damon Mack, Winthrop Close Up.
To see more performances from the pageant, connect with us on Facebook. Winthrop's Open Mic Night has a special guest this week. Reporter Cameron Powell is there for all the excitement.
I'm here at Open Mic Night and people are having a blast. Open Mic Night is a chance for Winthrop students to come out and showcase some of their talents and also have a lot of fun. Tonight's show was hosted by special guest Dustin Hatzenbuhler from the hit TV show The Voice, and he says open mic nights are one of his favorite things to do.
Every moment was so precious.
There's so much fun. It's cool to have people just share their art with people, and people show up to listen to it, which is even cooler. So yeah, I enjoyed it very much. It was awesome.
In addition to hosting, Hatzenbuhler also performed a few songs from his new album. Other performances at Open Mic Night range from musical solos to duets, rap performances, and poetry, and even a little dancing.
This is my first time playing at Open Mic. I had a great time. Everybody seemed lively and lovely. There was a lot of jazz played. I had a great time. That's all I can say.
But it wasn't just the performers who had a great time at Open Mic Night. The audience members enjoyed the show too.
I had an amazing time, honestly. I wasn't sure what to expect. This was my first time ever going to it, but the amount of talent here at Winthrop is pretty incredible.
So make sure you attend the next Open Mic Night, or even perform.
Because girl, you been running through my mind.
Cameron Powell, Winthrop Close Up.
Open mic nights are offered throughout this semester. We'll keep you updated through our Twitter at Winthrop Close Up. That concludes this week's Arts and Entertainment. Back to you guys in the newsroom.
Thanks, Tabitha. It's time to say goodbye to summer and hello to fall.
That's right, Brandon. The season of fall is finally here, which means that we are one step closer to winter weather. The season change is starting to affect everyone.
And also the fashion is starting to change, so I'm more able to wear more of layers and whatnot, because I'm more of a fashionable guy, if you haven't noticed. So I like wearing layers and different type of jeans and shoes and whatnot that accommodate to the autumn weather.
In order to stay warm during the fall, it is recommended that everyone wears layers. Try to take advantage of the last day of summer weather before it takes a turn for the cold.
That's it for this week's Winthrop Close Up.
As always, connect with us on your favorite social media sites.
We'll see you next week for another Winthrop Close Up.